Yo, what is good? What is bragging? It is your boy, the DJC, aka the Don Juan Carlos, and we're here for another video. Very different, but still is gonna be pretty cool. This is gonna be the first time I ever do one of these, but this is gonna be a build video for our beloved video game, Destiny 2. So this build is what I like to call throw that ass in a circle, and we're just gonna jump right into it. So why I call this build the throw that ass in a circle build is because this is a charge with light build that I've been using for the past couple weeks, and I want to let you know it is probably some of the most fun that I have used in quite a while. So I'm just gonna throw the basics of what you need to run this build. First, you don't have to. You can run this on any class, but it is truly powerful on the Warlock class. I'm mostly using Felwinter's Helm, equipped with Thunderlord in the heavy slot. I also have the new Season of Arrivals mod, a Reactive Pulse, slotted with one Arc mod, and because the Arc mod, once you have it slotted, it gives you the finisher Bulwark. Now I'm just gonna get right into each different parts of the build. So we're gonna start with the main part, which is probably the exotics. Yes. So Felwinter's Helm, if you don't know what Felwinter's Helm does, it is a Warlock exotic which says once you kill an enemy with a melee ability, it summons a AoE debuff circle around you. Also, if you use a finisher on any enemy, it also summons a AoE debuff circle around you, and the circle gets larger depending on the type of enemy that you use. So basic enemies, like minor enemies, you'll get a small circle. Majors, which is the yellow bars, you'll get a much larger area. And some bosses that can be finisher, like when you do the contact bulk events, specifically when you do the ogre one that summons the wizards, because you can use finishers on the wizards. That actually, the circle for that one actually reaches probably like half. It's a good range, honestly. It's about like, I think it's 100 meters, to be fair. That's how big that range is. Literally, you finish off a one of those mini bosses, and the entire arena that you're fighting in is freaking debuff with Felwinter's Helm. It is crazy. It is super crazy. The next part of this build is actually going to be Thunderlord. Now, Thunderlord, if you don't know, is an exotic LMG that came out back in season, I think it was last year, during the Halloween event. Yeah, pretty much that. So anyway, what Thunderlord does, it as you shoot enemies, if you kill them, you summon lightning bolts coming from the sky, and if you constantly do damage with Thunderlord, it also summons lightning bolts from the sky. Basically, you shoot something and they die, you're exploding lightning. Now, why does that apply with the Felwinter's Helm? It's just giant circles of death everywhere. Honestly, you Felwinter something, you melee charge Felwinter something, you get the AoE circle around you, you turn around and you just start using Thunderlord. You don't even have to try. Everything's basically dead. It's, oh my god, it's a blast, I'll tell you. Literally, it is a blast. Now, this is probably the part of the build that takes it over the edge. This is going to be the part where we implement our Charge of Light. Because previously, with Thunderlord and Felwinter's Helm, you don't really need to use any Charge with Light mods. Those two exotics by themselves, or together, make this build extremely strong. It lets you clear out any ads, you do a bunch of damage all the time. It's crazy. It's super crazy. But to take it over the edge, the new Season of Arrivals mods actually, they make this super cool. So one thing, the first mod that I would think about, well, not think about, the first mod that I use is actually Reactive Pulse. Now, what Reactive Pulse does is when there's a group of enemies around you, you actually explode in an arc circle, and the arc circle kind of, it's pretty big. It's probably the same size as a Felwinter's Helm proc on a minor enemy. So like, let's say your non-yellow bar thrall, red bar thrall, red bar drag, any of that explodes in that circle. And it's kind of finicky still. Like, I'm not sure how they meant it to work, because sometimes how it works is, as long as you have a charge of light buff, if there's a group of enemies around you, you'll explode and kill all the enemies. But it doesn't say how many enemies you need to explode, and sometimes there are enemies behind you and they explode. Either way, you're exploding and you're killing a bunch of stuff. And if you're not killing stuff, you're definitely doing a decent chunk of damage to them. And the other part, the secondary part to that mod actually, which implicates Felwinter's Helm, is once you have an arc mod, anything that goes in the in between sections of your armor, so not the seasonal and not the stat one, but the any other one of those arc mods actually gives it so that anytime you do a finisher, you actually get a massive overshield. And the overshield, you don't even have to have Charge with Light equipped or Charge with Light buff on to get the overshield. The overshield is so powerful. Let me tell you, I was at 1 HP, right? And I'm like, oh man, there's an enemy that I need to finish off so I can get a Felwinter's Helm proc so that, I don't know, maybe I could get out of here alive. So you punch somebody, they get to 1 HP, you use the finisher, and every enemy that was in my vicinity just freaking got Felwinter's Helm. And then shot 2 enemies, got a Charge of Light, and exploded the rest of the enemies. So it's really strong. Like, I'll show you, like, if you've been watching the video so far, you've been seeing what this build can do, but that's really pretty much it. Felwinter's Helm, Thunderlord, Reactive Pulse, and having the arc mod equipped, so you get the overshield, the bulwark finisher. It's really fun. I'd bring this to Nightfalls, because there's other things you can do to make sure you can deal with the champions, but when you're clearing out ads and want to do a lot of damage, this is a build that I suggest you should try out. And if not, don't worry about it. But either way, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to catch all of you guys later. Deuces.